Hey boys, we're back at it again with another tier list video. I haven't made one of these in a long time, so let's just get into it. We're gonna rank some Jojo characters. The criteria for me ranking them is a bit odd. It's gonna be all over the place, so you're gonna probably see Jojo and no, don't say that. Now, let's start things off from where it began with Jonathan Joestar. Jonathan he's a good character. He's the supreme gentleman, but he did get cut by Dio multiple times, and you know that's pretty bad. I would put him in S tier or A, but he's dead, so I'm gonna put him in B tier. There we go. Now we have William Zappelli. I don't really like William. I think he's a pretty bad character. He died to some matehead looking guy. So I would put him in F tier, but because he has a top hat and he looks like Mario, but with muscles, I'm gonna put him in E tier. Next is Robert Speedwagon. Well, you know, it's S tier for Speedwagon. Dio Brando. No, Dio, he cucked Jonathan multiple times in the series, so he's gonna be above Jonathan. There we go, that's good. Joseph Joestar is a pretty cool character. He's probably one of my favorite Joestars, not because he's funny, but because of how much of a retard he is. He acts like a retard, but he's actually the smartest person in the room. A tier for manipulation. Caesar Zappelli is better than William, but also pretty garbage overall. I mean, he died to Wamu, and Wamu was also a pretty good character. Wamu as a character was better than the Jojo, so I'm gonna put Caesar in D. And next we have Cars. Cars is a pretty crap antagonist. Wamu outshines him in every single way, so I'm gonna put Cars in the F tier, because Cars is just, I don't like Cars, it's pretty boring. Now we have Wamu. Wamu is a pretty top character. I say his character arc is pretty good, so I'm gonna put him in B tier. Very nice. Now we have Jotaro Kujo. Now Jotaro would be an S tier, but he's a bad father to Jolene, so I'm just gonna put him in A tier. Old Joseph Joestar is also pretty cool, but he's basically useless in part 3, other than telling the Crusaders some information. So I'm gonna put Joseph in C for uselessness. Avdol is pretty useless in part 3 too. As a character, he wasn't that important, I'm gonna say, because Avdol died twice, and the only reason he was brought back to life was because Araki thought he needed to give this character redemption, so I'm gonna put him in E tier. Kakyoin would be an S tier for dedication, but he lost his chance for a healthy MILF and gets donated by Dio, so that puts him down in C tier with Joseph. Polnareff is an immortal god. Every time you think he's about to die, he doesn't. His fight with that Hail to You guy and Vanilla Ice just shows you that Polnareff is an omnipotent god. So I'm just gonna put Polnareff in B tier because of his hair is amazing too. Next we have Iggy. Iggy got crushed by Vanilla Ice, and Vanilla Ice was a pretty insane character. I don't know, I'm pretty conflicted with Iggy. I'm just gonna put him in C tier, because he didn't really do much other than fight a bird. There we go. Now, Dio, capital Dio, is a different tier, tier from Dio Brando and an actual Dio, because Dio is just stronger in every single way, and he has time stop too. He's probably the best character in Stardust, despite not being what? So that's gonna be the S tier from me, boys. Josuke Higashikata has the best hair in all of JoJo's, and if you tell him otherwise, he'll beat the crap out of you like he did to Rohan, or You know, if Kira were to tell Josuke that he had bad hair, Kira would have died. If if Josuke was there during part 6, we would never have Steel Ball Run because Josuke would destroy Pucci because Pucci would make fun of his hair. So Josuke would have an A for me. Koichi Hirose, his character arc is pretty good, but he's also a midget, so I'm gonna put him in D tier for being a midget. He's smaller than me, so there you go. Okuyasu has a busted stand that can erase space, but he still manages to be useless, so E tier for uselessness. Rohan Kishibe, S tier. Yeah, is that even a argument? Kira, you'd think that Kira as a character would be an S tier, but Kira died to an ambulance, which should bring him down to F tier. Next we have Giorno Giovanna. Now Giorno is a massive badass because Giorno manages to put the Luca guy in a coma in the first episode of Golden Wind. So, you know, he's pretty cool. He also defeats Diavolo, and him in Purple Haze Feedback, he's basically Dio, but much cooler. So, I'm gonna put Giorno in S tier. Bruno Bucciarati is the best mom in JoJo's because he takes care of 5 sexually confused men and one teenager that has daddy issues. So, I'm gonna put Bruno in S tier just for being a great parent to the Pashoni gang. He also has sticky fingers, and he makes sticky fingers and zippers look cool. Abakio has a dummy thick stand, which puts him in S tier. But he's also a massive cuckboy and gets donated. So if you get donated in JoJo, you're pretty down. I know that Bucciarati got donated, but that's fine because he survived. So Abakio goes to D tier for being a donut boy. A donut boy and a really bad donut boy. Mista is probably one of the best characters. Yeah, I put him in S tier, but every time he takes out his gun, he ends up shooting himself in one way or the other. So that's a B tier for me. Now, Fence Boy Narancia. Now, Narancia is a pretty fun character. He's the Joker of the Part 5 group. So, that puts him in the Joker group, which is B tier, along with Polnareff. Now, we have Fugo. Now, you might think that Fugo would go in the recycling bin tier, but because he left the game. But in Purple Haze Feedback, he was a pretty great character. So, for Purple Haze Feedback, I'm gonna put him in C tier. Now we have Trish. Trish was pretty useless. The only parts where she shines was the notorious big fight and the climax to Ventorio. So I'm gonna put Trish in C tier because I mean B tier. I mean A tier. I mean S tier. S tier for reasons. Now you have Turtle Polnareff. Turtle Polnareff is also a great. No, I can't do this. I can't. D tier. No, C tier. Yeah, C tier. C tier is fine. Turtle Polnareff is probably the best character in JoJo's because he's basically Giorno's right-hand man in Purple Haze Feedback. So I'm gonna put him in A tier. There you go. Now we have Doppio. And Doppio is a pretty great character. He outshines Diavolo in many ways. He's also the best boy in all of JoJo's. So that instantly makes him S tier. But he's also pretty weak and has issues. So I'm gonna put him in A tier for issues. Next we have Diavolo. Diavolo gets cucked by a 15-year-old vampire hybrid Joestar. So that makes him a pretty crap character. And, you know, he's a mess of a character in general. So, F tier. I just realized all the Kira. I'm just gonna move Kira up. Because I don't think he should be in the same league as, you know, there we go. That's a good Kira. That's a good Kira. Next we have Jolene Kujo. Now Jolene Kujo's the only female main JoJo, which she gets props for that. She can also take a lot of hits, but you have to be honest, Jolene is the only JoJo to not beat the main antagonist of her part. So I'm just gonna put Jolene in B because yeah, she's pretty creative. She's also a massive badass. So B's fine. B's fine. Next we have Hermes Costello. Hermes, despite having a busted stand with one of the best stats in the entire series, she still manages to be useless. F tier for useless. Next we have Anasui. Now Anasui is I don't know, I'm conflicted about Anasui. At first he started off as a girl and then he became a guy. So now he's E tier. Weather Report is probably one of my favorite characters in JoJo because of how badass he is. S tier. He's also a silent type. Wait a minute. He got cucked by the KKK. And if you get cucked by the KKK, that brings you down to D tier. I'm sorry, Weather. Now we have Pucci. Pucci is the only villain to succeed in JoJo's, but he's also the only villain to die against a baseball kid, so F tier. Next we have Gay Dio, which reasons. Next we have Johnny Joestar. Johnny Joestar is an amazing character. Despite being crippled, he went across America and killed the President of the United States. He's also dummy thick, so S tier. Next we have Gyro Zeppeli. Now Gyro Zeppeli is probably the best Zeppeli of all the Zeppelis by leagues, so I'm gonna put Gyro in S tier. He deserves to be an S tier. Next we have Hot Pants, because reasons. Next we have Diego Brando. Now Diego is probably he's a great character, but he died twice. One against the one against Funny Valentine, and then another one against some girl. So A tier. Funny Valentine is S tier, but he also died to a cripple, so F tier. F tier for a crippled death. Next we have Gappy. Now Gappy is probably my favorite JoJo because he's just the funniest character. He's also has one of the most brutal kills in JoJo. He drowns a dude, sets one on fire, poisons another guy, and then uses a shovel to hit some guy, and then beats the crap out of the vitamin C dude. So you know, he's a pretty good character. S tier. Now the difference between Hermes and Yasuho is a competent Jobro, and she's a female Jobro, so I'm gonna put her in A. Nice. Now we have Joshu. So there's my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure character list, guys, and if you disagree with it, comment down below and I will listen to you, because this is objectively #1 JoJo tier list. Goodbye.